So shit is funky, boy. They be funky.
Funky refers to something that smells, typically in an offensive way, but also in what you might describe as a very earthy way as well. It's used as a way of describing something that's not very clean. For example, you go to a public restroom and then you might say, oh, that was a very funky restroom, which means that it wasn't cleaned very well. Pretty disgusting. Likewise, it can also be used in a positive way. For example, jazz music or certain types of music is oftentimes described as funky. And then they even have a type of music. It's called funkadelic, which would be jazz music similar to rock and roll, oftentimes combined with horns, and to create a certain type of music. So with music, typically it involves having a strong dance rhythm. And funky can also mean being different, but sort of interesting and nice. For example, you could say she's wearing very funky clothes, and you mean it as a compliment, not as an insult. Funky can also mean strange, unusual, or suspicious. Some funky deal, funky boss, very strange boss. So it's a word that can have very opposite meanings. It can mean something that's bad, or it can also mean something that's good, but just different than what you might see as normal or average. I saw this girl the other day. She was wearing this really funky dress and this funky hairdo as well. And at first I was taken aback looking at her, but then I thought, wow, she's a real pretty looking girl. You know, there's this bar I like to go to, except their bathroom is very, very funky. So anytime I go in there, I have to hold my breath. It's so disgusting. A lot of people were originally attracted to the East Village in New York because it was a very funky neighborhood. These downtown bars, bums lying in the street, people smoking marijuana, on heroin, and people thought of the funkiness of the neighborhood as being part of the entire experience. But then as it got gentrified and it actually turned into a very wealthy neighborhood, a lot of people missed the olden days when things weren't quite so nice looking.
It's gonna be a good year, man. Been dating a girl 7 years now. I think I'm finally gonna pop the question.
Pop the question refers to somebody asking someone else to marry them, typically a man asking the woman to marry him. Oftentimes after quite some time of going out with each other, and oftentimes the woman, she's sort of nagging the man to pop the question. So he'll arrange some special date and have dinner, champagne, and then he'll get down on his hands and knees and pop the question. I had a good friend. He was going out with this girl for a while, and he waited 3 years before he finally popped the question. And she told him no. So it was kind of amusing how that all turned out. My friend Susan, she broke up with her boyfriend because she went out with him for over 2 years, and she didn't think he was ever going to pop the question.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
Click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.